His name is Ryan Winder. Now, Ryan is a licensed marriage and family therapist in Las Vegas, Nevada, who specializes in pornography addictions. But he's not an ordinary therapist. He has found that what traditional psychology teaches is completely backwards. So the entire model they've been trained to use to help save families from the strongest addiction on earth, in my opinion, is broken. And that's a tragedy, especially for all those who don't just want change, but really need change now. But you already know that, don't you? You may have already been down that road only to have relapse days or months later. Ryan felt so bad when he would see people like this, who desperately needed help, who despite the fear and the pain they felt, decided to go out and try to get help. And the tragedy is that they're trying to get help from good, well-intentioned people who care. But unfortunately, these people just aren't trained or equipped with a system that works consistently and has been proven over and over again. Try as they may, they just don't understand how to permanently break this pattern forever. They may have studied at school, but as we all know, studying and doing are two completely different things. And that's why when I met Ryan for the first time, it was like a breath of fresh air, because he wasn't someone who had learned these theories on how to overcome pornography addiction, but someone who had an actual roadmap that had been proven over and over again with hundreds of clients. And like a warrior, he had gone to battle with his clients, stood on the front lines with them as they fought the battle of their lives, and for their freedom, and came out victorious over and over again. Now, while I was lucky to be able to meet Ryan in person, I know that for you, unless you're currently living in Las Vegas, it's just not possible. If you can imagine living in Las Vegas, the heart of Sin City, and being the creator and the only person teaching this method, as powerful as it is, comes with its share of responsibilities. This formula is already supporting hundreds of people in the Las Vegas area, along with their families across the globe, including my own. Now, when people first started to discover Ryan and his methods, they went to any lengths to meet with him. If they were in Las Vegas, they would immediately get on the waiting list for a chance to meet him. But because of the demand for his time, often it was weeks or months before they could sit down and talk to him. And by that time, the damage had already been done. The negative cycles and patterns that they were trying to break had gotten worse. Each relapse was like a new strand of thread, making the ropes that bound the victim stronger and stronger until they became almost unbreakable. And what about those who are not in Las Vegas? After he started appearing on TV shows around the country and rumors spread about the effectiveness of this system, people would spend thousands of dollars to fly to his office, not to mention the hotel costs and the time away from work, to get Ryan's help, to finally break free from this addiction. But it's worth it, don't you think? What would you pay to break these chains forever? What lengths would you go to finally have your life back? So something had to be done. A system needed to be created that would make it possible for Ryan to help people who didn't have the ability or the means to meet with him personally. Something that could be done in the comfort and the privacy of your own home, and at a cost that was affordable to everyone. But we had one big challenge. We needed something that would be just as effective as meeting Ryan in person, that would equip you or your loved ones with the exact same tools that you would get from Ryan personally. So when you stepped into your own personal battle, you would emerge victorious. Now, after painstakingly recording and re-recording Ryan's system, we finally felt we had done it. So then we needed to put it to the test to make sure it would work. And the results were, well, let me show you what the results were. This is the testimonial we received from a guy named Lincoln. I've struggled with pornography for most of my life. Before meeting Ryan, I had tried and failed to overcome this addiction. Too many times to tell. I had seen the therapist, I had read the literature, I had tried all of the tricks to avoid pornography, but nothing ever worked. The addiction was like a cancer, and all of my attempts to rid myself of it proved unsuccessful. When I met Ryan, my heart was heavy and my conscience seared by years of shame and guilt about what I considered must be a character flaw, a profound sense that something in my very core was damaged or wrong. Ryan helped me come to an understanding that there wasn't something terribly wrong with me. I had a problem, and he was there to help me fix it. I have a much better outlook on life now. I attribute this to having worked with such an experienced specialist such as Ryan. He helped me peel away layers of my addiction and anxieties to get to the root of my problems. Life is much more simple now and much more enjoyable. Before meeting and working with Ryan, I didn't know if I could feel joy and peace in my life, but I'm here to tell you that's what I feel today. And we have a lot more just like that. In fact, maybe that's why Ryan's clients like to call the system the get out of jail free card, for getting out of the pornography prison. Isn't it going to be nice when you're finally free from this prison forever? And believe me, you can, because this system works. It works if you've just gotten into pornography. It works if you've been addicted for years. It works if you've completely given up hope. In fact, for those of you who are watching this who don't have an addiction, but someone you love does, it'll work for you too. It'll help you to understand why they are struggling and give you the tools you need to help them break free forever. So now you can stop searching for something that will work and step into a system that creates freedom now and for years to come. Now, as you can imagine, the demand for this system has been huge. Billions of dollars are spent each year selling pornography, and millions of lives, families, and homes are destroyed because of it. And because Ryan is not in this to make money, but to help people, he decided to do something that other therapists have already said is completely crazy. As you know, most therapists charge between $50 and $75 per hour. In fact, good specialists often charge $100 or more per hour. And Ryan, well, because he has a lot more clients than he can handle, he charges even more than that, a lot more. But for simplicity, let's say he only charges $100 an hour. So if you want to see him every week, that would cost you $400 a month. Now, I know that's not chump change. It's the same as a monthly payment on a new car. And it's just not affordable for a lot of people. But each of these sessions is part of a system that you need to break free. And each of the steps are essential. If you miss just one of these building blocks, you're going to be opening yourself up to the traps we talked about earlier. So when you consider the fact that when you log into the members area for the very first time, you're going to see that you're going to have immediate access to 23 video modules. Now, each of these modules is the equivalent to one session with Ryan in his office. So it would cost you $2,300 to get full access to this life-changing system. But I think that you'd admit that if you could stop your addiction to pornography once and for all, it'd probably be worth $2,300, right? And others have paid that. People in Las Vegas are paying more than that right now. And others who fly in are paying 2 to 3 times that much for flights and hotels. But it'll be worth it, don't you think? When you have your freedom, your happiness, your family, and your time back forever. And unlike Ryan's typical clients, you don't have to wait 23 weeks to solve your problem. You can dive in right now, immerse yourself, and go through all the modules in a weekend if you want to. You can stop the addiction right now. Isn't that great? But because Ryan is not in this for the money, but he legitimately wants you to succeed, he also knows that if you don't invest something, you're not going to be fully engaged. Don't you agree? They say that when you don't pay attention. And we need you to pay attention because it's that important. We're not talking about a game here. We're talking about your life, your happiness, and your future. So we need to make sure that you invest something to make sure you're going to value it. But don't worry, you're not going to pay anything near what the system is worth. So what I'm about to do for you, for the person who's finally ready to break the chains of bondage, we're taking the $2,300 you would pay Ryan personally for the system, and we're throwing it out the door. We're going to practically give it to you for the price of just one session with Ryan. That's right, for just $100, you're going to be able to access all 23 video modules and their accompanying homework from the comfort of your own home. This entire system. But you're not really investing in a system, are you? You're investing in your freedom, and you can't put a price on that. Now, for some of you, I know that $100 might be a lot. It might be more than you can afford right now, and I get that. The economy has been tough on most of us. So Ryan actually asked me to give you a very special discount for the first 100 people who take action this month. Now, if you're seeing this video, that means the discount is still available. So for you, you're going to get the complete access to the $2,300 course for just $47. Yes, that's less than half the cost of just one session with Ryan or any good therapist. It's the same cost as a nice dinner for two. But this just won't feed you for a night. It's going to change your life forever. And that's what you're really paying for, isn't it? You might think you're buying some videos or access to a membership site, when the fact is, what you're really buying is your life back, your peace of mind. And if even that price is too steep for your budget, it's cool. I get that. Times are tough out there, so I've got your back. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and eliminate all the risk of your purchasing right now. Here goes. If you're not happy with the results from the Overcome Pornography system, you're not going to pay for it. It's that simple. In fact, I'll give you a full 60 days to run the program through its paces. If you haven't completely kicked your pornography addiction, or you're bummed, annoyed, irritated, or unsatisfied by how it's going for any other reasons, or no reasons at all, just send us a request and you'll get every penny back. We won't ask you a single question. We'll just refund every penny, and it's that simple. It's our way of ensuring that everybody walks away winner. Now, below this video, you're going to see an order button. Do you see it? It says add to cart. Now, for those of you who are ready to change, this is your first step. Now, for those of you who are already placing your order, I want to talk to you for a minute. I want to talk to you about your future, because what's about to happen is different for everyone. For some, overcoming pornography means a better relationship with their spouse. For others, it may mean they have more free time. For others, it can mean something completely different. But for you, that order button just isn't an order button, is it? It's your life. It's your freedom. Now, there aren't many opportunities like this in life that can bring you absolute freedom like this can. And when one does come along, you either take it or you spend the rest of your life wishing you did. Now, I believe that within a few short months from now, a year from now, and for the rest of your life, you look back on this moment as the instant in which your life changed forever. But only if you make the decision to click on the Add to Cart button right now and fill out the order form before this limited opportunity vanishes. If you wait, it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but with absolute certainty, if you wait, you will miss this chance. I know without a shadow of a doubt you're going to do the right thing for yourself and your family. So place your order now, and we'll see you on the other side.